Seattle is the home of tech, and tech is increasingly embracing AI with open arms. I feel like you hear people rolling out their new AI tools all the time. Like every app I'm using online is like, do you want to use our new AI tool? And people are really talking about it like it's an inevitability. Jeff Bezos just founded a new company called Prometheus. It has $6.2 billion in funding, and they're developing AI tech that will supposedly help people get to outer space, help with engineering, manufacturing of computers, of automobiles. And they also are hoping that their AI models are going to allow AI to perform experiments on their own. So they already have like 100 employees, including researchers that they poach from big AI companies like OpenAI and Meta. And it seems like people are just really embracing AI, especially in the city of Seattle. Are you all seeing that too?
Unfortunately, yeah. I don't understand at all. I don't get the appeal. I am an AI hater through and through. I do not understand why people are so into this.
Same. I'm just waiting for the bubble to burst. I think it's got, maybe 3 months. We're seeing all the same signs that led up to the subprime meltdown. People divesting, including people like Peter Thiel are divesting from NVIDIA now. There's a lot of things in the market that suggest that this is not going to last much longer, and we won't be hearing about AI next year in the same ridiculously overheated terms we are now.
What happens if we are in a bubble? Like, does it just go away?
It takes a third of the economy with it. And all the, all the growth sectors in the economy are, inextricably welded to AI. So, it hurts probably a lot more than the subprime meltdown. And then what comes after that? Well, I'm sure they'll figure out a way to rebrand it. Although you don't really hear about NFTs that much anymore. So there's a couple different ways it could go.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, whatever happened to NFTs? For like a second, everyone was like, NFTs are the future. Justin Bieber's selling NFTs. Like, everyone should purchase an NFT. Like, in the same way that we talked about Beanie Babies in the 90s. And it feels like it just quietly disappeared. And I don't know. I wonder if the same will be of AI.
The problem with having a vibes-based economy is that eventually the vibes change, and eventually like AI generated art, instead of being like, cool, can you believe it, made this picture of, Mario Brothers, as goths or whatever. Eventually that I think that will eventually be seen as the aesthetics of fascism and, this wild market overreach and manipulation of entire populations. So we'll see if the vibe shifts on that. Sorry to be a downer.
Maybe you're not wrong. And I feel like it's just, haven't there been so many tech layoffs because they're like, oh, AI can do this. I don't need people anymore. And it's awful for the environment. Like, what are the pros of AI? Is just that makes transcription easier?
Transcription is great. Transcription's never been better. So that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something. But yeah, what am I missing is my question from the clankers, the bot lickers. What are we calling people that love AI? I feel like I need them to tell me what is so cool about this.
I've heard of other journalists using Google Pinpoint, which is this tool that you can upload a ton of documents and basically it makes them all searchable, or it organizes themes for you. I will say I've not used it myself, but I have definitely heard of, journalists or scientists saying that AI tools for them have helped them be able to cull through large amounts of data that they might not be able to cull through themselves, or at least not as efficiently. And in some cases, I think those AI tools even are you can ask it a question in plain language and it generates a response for you the same way that ChatGPT would, but that it is just local to that set of files on your computer.
I guess I see that as useful. I just hope that information is correct and you kind of have no way of knowing. And we mentioned transcription, which sure, that's helpful and great. I'm sure AI probably also helps with like translation. Maybe it's making that better or easier to like translate stuff. But
yeah,
I'm really trying to find a pro here.
People are definitely raising concerns about the many ways that AI is now being used, especially in town. Recently, there was this GeekWire piece about a local bookstore that's using AI to build a customer loyalty program and also to categorize their inventory. And it seems like people are concerned about that. I think just maybe in part because a bookstore is a place that you tend to associate with being more analog, if that makes any sense, or at least that's my instinct.
It's literally physical media. I mean, it's hard to understand how someone could so fundamentally misread the reason people use bookstores. You go to a bookstore, if you're looking for a certain type of book, you ask the smart book nerd who works at the bookstore. They love books so much, they went and got a job at the bookstore, and they get to read all the books they want now. And they can tell you what is the best book to read about bicycling or potted plants. I don't trust, I don't trust an AI to do this. I need an analog, meat human to guide the way.
You want a sack of meat to tell you which book to read.
Yes, yeah. I want someone with like bad knees and they have a headache today and one big long hair growing out of their eyebrow. I want just a normal, flawed human to tell me what they thought about a book.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, in so many ways, it feels like a bookstore is a brick and mortar, almost like a temple dedicated to human creativity.
Yes.
Like, here are a bunch of physical objects created by people's minds, essentially. Like, I mean, not the physical media, obviously, that was created probably in a factory, but all of the words on the page they come from the joy of our imagination. And it feels like it takes away a little bit of the magic to know that something else like technology might be making recommendations or control what's in the store also to some extent.
And it taints it taints the experience in a way to even suggest the hint that an AI chose all of our books in our store. Makes me immediately not want to go in. I want a book nerd who loves books even more than I do to guide my way.
This makes me feel better because now I know that like AI won't last forever because everything old is new again. And like kids these days love like they're rediscovering like tapes and like cassette tapes and like listening with wired headphones and iPods, or like Apple has created like a new version of basically an iPod, but they're selling it as something new. But all that to say that like we embrace technology at first, but then the people yearn for the analog version. And so hopefully that will come back into style soon enough.
The analog version is the one that actually lasts through successive iterations of the internet, memory holding things. The book remains. The book or the album that your kid discovers later in life is what will remain.
Absolutely. And I do wish the best to these booksellers. I am curious how they might take into account the community feedback that some folks are sending their way. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like with this old school turn towards media, I wonder if there are just going to be spaces that people are increasingly rejecting the encroaching of AI.